Hello! Today we are gonna deploy some application to Kubernetes, and to do that we are gonna use the open source cloud Foundry Korifi. It's designed to provide developer with very efficient approach to delivering and managing cloud native application to Kubernetes, and it automates a bunch of things for you: networking, security, availability, and more. And basically, for those of you who are familiar with the Cloud Foundry CF push, it's the same. With just one command, you can easily deploy pretty much any type of application to the cloud, and here more specifically to Kubernetes by leveraging Korifi. And so in this tutorial, we are gonna cover a bunch of things. We are gonna install the prerequisites for Korifi. We are gonna then install the dependencies for Korifi and then Korifi itself. Then we will configure Korifi. Then we will deploy a Java application. And finally, we will deploy a Python application. So the first thing we are going to do is install the prerequisites. And so we have a number of them to install. We have Docker, Helm, kubectl, kind, Go, make if your machine doesn't have this, the KBLD, and finally CF8, like the Cloud Foundry command line. You can install all of them manually if you want. And I've tried that, and I was using apt-get to do this. But the issue is that apt-get does not always provide the latest version, and so when then trying to install Korifi, I ran into some obscure bugs and issue because I was not installing the right version of the software, and more specifically not the latest one. And so I struggled a bunch with this. It took me some time to realize that was the issue. And so I was like, wait a second, how about I make this simple for me, but also for you? And so I wrote a bash script that basically install everything for you. It's on my GitHub. Just a simple bash script that install all these dependencies for you. And so for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to use that because I don't want to be typing all of this manually. So we are going to clone the repository on here and then just run the script. All right, let's go. It's all done. As you can see, we've installed all actually it's not dependencies. I fixed this, but I didn't update the repo yet. We installed the prerequisites. So a little typo here in the script. But anyhow, we are done with this step, and now we are gonna actually move on to the second step, which is to actually install the dependencies for Korifi and then Korifi itself. So similarly to installing the prerequisites, the Korifi development team maintains an installation script for Korifi. It's an installation on a kind cluster, right? So I think this is great if you want to try out Korifi. Similarly, I will speed up the installation process so we don't need to wait it out. All right, and we are done installing Korifi. So now it's time to configure our Korifi Cloud Foundry instance. And so to do that, we have a few commands to run. So the first thing that we are going to do is basically authenticate to our local instance using the CF admin user. And now I am authenticated. Then we are going to create an organization. In this case, I called it tutorial -org. And now we are gonna create a space that I call tutorials -space within this org. And when this is done, we just target the space within the org, and that's it. Korifi is installed and ready to be used. So now we are gonna dive into the fun part and deploy a Java application to Kubernetes using Korifi, and it's gonna be just with a single command. So let's use a simple Java app. You can use the one that I prepared on my GitHub account. Here it is. As you can see, it's something very simple that's gonna print hello world when queried. So the only thing you have to do is to use the Cloud Foundry command line. Before that, I want to show that I don't have any application running. By the end of the tutorial, I'm gonna type this and we're gonna see Java and Python application running here. So just type cf push and then the name of your app. I'm gonna call it my Java app, and let's do it. So the first run of the cf push command might take some time because under the hood, Korifi is using build packs, which will containerize your app. So it needs to download all the dependencies and install them to create the base image that's going to be used by your application to be run. So again, like it might, depending on, here we don't have much to download. Depending on how much dependencies you have, it may take more or less time. But what matters the most is that on next iteration, it's going to be much faster. Because when you update your code, it's just going to update this part. So for the sake of the tutorial, we don't want to be waiting here for this to get done. So I'm just going to accelerate the thing here and skip this whole part. And it's done. The application has been deployed. So at the end of the deployment, you get a bunch of information related to the current state of the application, the name, what's the current state, the route, which is quite important, and a bunch of information regarding where your application is running, how many instances, and other information. You can always go back to this information by typing cf app and the name of your application. And as you can see, it will give you all this information. So it says that the application is running fine, but let's make sure, let's check it. So we are gonna curl it, and for this one, I'm just gonna see what the server is returning. So I'm gonna use the -I, and everything is behind certificate. But since it's a self-signed certificate, we need to add this flag to curl or it will complain. All right. Boom. As you can see, it returned the 200. You can just remove the -I so you can see the content. That was pretty easy, right? CF push, name of the application, done. That's all you need. Okay, now let's do another stack. So we are gonna go in the same repo. I also provided a Python application. I'm gonna update this repo actually with more sample apps, so that if you want to try it out for this project or other project, it's an easier repo to go to. So same, like very simple application. that will return hello world and the version of Python. So here there is a small difference. We can't just do CF push yet. It's because, so as I explained, it's using the Korifi is using build packs, right, to package your application into a container, and then this is pushed to Kubernetes. And so you need to tell Korifi which build packs it can use, all right? And so you can tell this in the cluster store, and I'm gonna edit my cluster store here using a kubectl command. And so it's a little slow. And so as you can see here in my sources, we have a number of build packs that are specified. And so here actually I already added it because I use this machine to try my tutorial, but actually if you install Korifi, you would not have this Python line. So you need to add this line for Python saying that you want to use this Paketo build pack, so that when build packs see that you want to package a Python application, it knows which image it can use. So that's a small thing. And so if you want to CF push an application that's not in this list, you would also need to, let's say you want to deploy a PHP app, you would also need to add an image source for PHP, and so on and so forth. The second thing that you need to do is specify in which order build packs should use the images. So same idea here, sorry, I did the one for Python, but when you install Korifi, it would not be there. So you would need to add this. Okay, that's it. So now that we have Korifi aware of which build packs to use and in which order, we can finally CF push, the best part, right? So I'm going to call it my Python app. And it's not CD, but CF. Here we are. I will also just stop the recording here. That's it. The Python application has been deployed. So we can verify here, my Python app. And so we are gonna check it with curl to make sure it's properly returning what we want. It does. That's it. And so, as I said, let's run CF apps. And as you can see, I have two applications running to Kubernetes. I deployed with one command. Once it's configured, it's one command, right? To push here like two stacks, a Java app and Python application. And as you can see, it's very easy. The CF command line is very powerful. I will do other video and tutorial showing how to use it, but today I wanted to demonstrate how easy it is to push pretty much any type of application to Kubernetes by using Korifi. And the best part is it's open source. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you have any question or feedback or ideas, feel free to share them in the comment section. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.